So the tenant that was living here completely destroyed the house, was in the process of getting evicted and then abandoned the property. So the inside's trash, backyard's trash, garage is trash. We're gonna take you through that. I mean, this is gonna take a laborer all day walking around just picking up little scraps and trash and all that other stuff. And when you walk through here, all this carpet had to be pulled out. It was all just soaked with pee and mud and every kind of disgusting thing you could imagine was just soaked into that carpet. I wish you could smell it through the camera because the smell here is awful. And we got a surprise under the stairs I'm gonna show you too. They had kitchen cabinets. They were completely ruined. When you cook and you don't clean your vent fans and you don't clean your cabinets around your stove and everything else, it leaves this nasty, grimy, you know, whatever. This here is something that not a lot of people know about, but it's something you should know about if you're gonna be in this business because it means you wanna wear gloves. Do you know what that is? That is roach. So that is from roaches squeezing in and out behind the cabinets, the countertops, everything else. And roaches just kind of wherever as they go. So that's disgusting. Somebody tried to treat for the roaches. That ain't gonna kill roaches. Those things survive nuclear blasts. This is the joys of Section 8 landlording. I don't even really know what happened here. Something's leaking, which I wish I would have known about before I stepped in it. That's got to get addressed. Another crazy thing, dude was living in here with no deadbolt. Management told us that this guy just kind of liked to do his own repairs and his own upkeep and, you know, whatever. He just decided he didn't need a deadbolt, so he just took it off. You can see here, we ripped up half the carpet because we were trying to figure out what is that smell. Not only did they abandon the property and leave it in a pigsty, but they had the furnace cranked up to 90. So when we came in here the day to look at it, we smelled something and we were like, my God. Smells like death. So we pulled the carpet. We were looking under the subfloor trying to figure out what it was. It's a pretty good sized hole. Pat got his light down there. There was a dead animal down there and it was baking in here in the 90-degree heat, and that is why the place smells. It still smells. I believe an animal also crawled in the furnace filter, whatever it was, and you can't smell it, but I can. Real nice stuff. You can see overspray again on the carpet. We don't really care because we're ripping the carpet out, so whatever. Smoke detectors, favorite of ours. This right here, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this is moving quite a bit. So this is some pretty weak subfloor. When you talk about subfloor, usually the bathroom is the worst place because it gets wet from the shower, from the toilet, from the sink. All the water gets to the wood and softens it all up. Ironically, this is the one area of the house that the subfloor is fine. My theory is because they never showered. So that's what the guys are here now doing. They're measuring for subfloor replacement. Shattered window. Interestingly, it was on the inside. If your tenant ever tries to make an argument that, well, we didn't break the window, it was a tree or, you know, whatever, you can say, bro, it's on the inside. The tree didn't break this window from the inside. But as you can tell, this carpet, I don't know if you want to get a close-up on that, but like this stuff doesn't even move anymore. It's just gross, disgusting, about as bad as you can get carpet. It was probably an animal using it as a bathroom, the tenant or their children or whatever spilling stuff and just never cleaning it up. Soaked through the subfloor, ruined the carpet, rotted the subfloor, all the problems we have here. Apparently, the guy also wanted to do his own electrical upgrades. So he took all the plates off of everything. That's an old cable box, but he took some of the plugs and stuff just like out of the walls and then just like never put them back. These are some of the reasons you need a deposit. Rental business is a great business, but this is about the worst case scenario you can get where they literally trashed everything. They messed this place up so bad that the main sewer line by the city has to be redone. Repair the main sanitary sewer line that services your home. It doesn't get much worse than ruining the main sewer line. I've only seen it one other time. The tenant got evicted. They were mad they got evicted and they poured quickcrete down the toilet. And so it went all down the sewer line, created a blockage. It dried in the toilet, in the plumbing in the house, in the sewer line, everything else. I mean, you're talking big bucks. They just poured concrete down the whole thing and filled the whole house full of concrete. So it could be anything really, you know, general cleanliness. I've lived in my house for a long time. I know people who have lived in the same house for 20, 30 years. My windows have never looked like that. I don't even know how you get it that bad, because you can probably tell just by looking at the place. The house is not even that old because, like I said, these are all newly built for rental. I don't even have words. He had alarm stickers and alarm everything else all over the house, but he took his deadbolt off. We've got a 30-yarder here already. That'll probably be filled and we'll probably get 1 to 2 more. Now, something we pointed out to the owner, I don't understand why the gutter comes down in the middle, down the corner of the house and kicks into the driveway. How are you gonna have a 6-foot extension off this gutter out to here, you know, or probably out to here? You're just gonna run that over with your car every time you come home. So people take them off. What happens when you take them off is, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but the concrete's doing this. So like this side is higher than this side. And you can see all this pooling here. That's because all the water coming out of this gutter has nowhere to go because there's no extension. So it just kicks down along the side of the house and it creates a river here. Thankfully, it hasn't gotten to the foundation, hasn't damaged the foundation yet because these homes are pretty new. But if you look up here, the gutter comes to the end. So you could have easily brought it down this corner. All of a sudden this is over here. You kick your extension out to the street. So your extension would roughly be the length of this flower bed and it would kick out right down to the street, right to the city sewer where it should go. So you wouldn't have it next to your foundation and it wouldn't pool. A lot of people overlook gutters when they're buying properties. That's a very important thing. You can see the trees starting to grow down there. That's not good. You don't want roots busting through your foundation. On top of that, we either have to pull the driveway out and redo the driveway with the proper pitch because it's sunk so that the water's going out, or what we're gonna try here is mud jacking. So they'll drill a hole every foot or two in the slab and they'll get like, they call it mud, but it's not mud. It's kind of like a liquid cement thing that they pump in under the slab, and over time from pumping it in, it'll pick up the slab and level it back out. So that's what we're gonna try here. So hopefully we don't have to replace a driveway that's already pretty new. You can tell just from the trash out here. I mean, he was a mechanic. Half a bottle jack is important for that. He's also got gloves out here that look like what you see Walter White wearing. Empty totes, you never know. Sometimes you find something fun. Rusted out barbecue. I mean, how would you like to eat off this? It's like I said, the guy was his own handyman. Not only did he remove his deadbolt, but he decided he didn't need doors anymore. So his doors all ended up in the yard. I can't explain that one. He just didn't want them.
Notice how much SpongeBob stuff was all throughout the house?
He did have 2 kids, which was the sad part. I would imagine not full custody living like this, but I did notice he had a couple kids on his walls. I'm hoping they're his kids. These vents here are to the furnace and water heater. Those should be covered because a squirrel or a bird can get in there and then get cooked up. There's a lot going on here. At one point he decided he didn't like his fence and just got rid of it. And then the piece de resistance, which I can't even get this door open, but that's where he housed all his other things. The interesting part is that snake there. We have one of those. This electric eel right here. That's a snake for cleaning out sewer lines and shit, which is ironic. Those are several $1,000 machine, but he's just got it wasted away in his garage. This one was technically abandoned property. So the guy stopped paying his rent for a long time. Section 8 didn't renew him or something like that. He stopped paying his portion, whatever it was. I don't know, I'm not the manager. So then once he got the eviction and it seemed like it was all going through, the guy just disappeared. Don't know where he went, don't know why he moved. It was abandoned property. Management company took it back over because the guy just hadn't been back. He even left his car here and everything else. The car's since been towed. In Michigan, I believe you can get an abandoned title and you can retitle the car because they have, you know, a judge order that this place was abandoned and everything. So as the rightful owner of the property, they're allowed to take the stuff. But I mean, he even left his car here. So the guy just like disappeared one night, didn't come back. It's kind of wild. A lot of people vilify landlords, but the people that live in this type of house, they can't afford a house on their own. They can't afford to buy one. They can't afford to rent their own. So if there weren't people willing to buy these properties and take Section 8 and all that other stuff, these people would just be homeless. People want to vilify landlords, but I mean, look at this. This is a $30,000, $40,000 mess created by somebody who was essentially living for free in somebody else's house. And the only stipulation was take care of it. The government will take care of your bills. You take care of the house. Everybody wins. You got to think a little deeper and not be so quick to blame shitty landlords and slumlords and everything else. They're really trying, and then somebody destroys the thing, right? We're going to put it all back together and it's going to be gorgeous for the next tenant. But if you want to see a video that we've got about Section 8, the pluses, the minuses, another look at a Section 8 house, click right here.